Hey guys, I'm AJ. I knew Paul from high school, and we were really good friends. Um, I got to share the dinner table with Tim on many occasions, and he made me feel really special when he talked to me. He looked me in the eye one time. He had explained just described something, and he looked me in the eye and said, "For you engineer types." And, it made me feel really special because I held him in such a high regard. I looked up to him not only as a mentor, but as a father. He always intimidated me with his intelligence, and I never wanted to appear stupid or disrespectful in front of him. But Kathy had asked him a question one time, and he replied, "Yes, my dear sweet love." And at that moment, I realized that was the man I wanted to be. I'll work through my life to make you proud. But when it comes to Paul, none of us know where to start with him. He's a once-in-a-lifetime friend. And, we spent most of our time just quoting movies and making terrible, terrible comments to each other. I had some quotes here, but they're not appropriate enough. The rest of our conversations were about, video games and Star Wars and the supremacy of cats over dogs. or corn dogs, or ridiculing our good friend Jonathan. I hope that people who see some of our online exchanges don't hold it against us, but they use it to gain insight into our unique sense of humor and our friendship. But he was also known for his very mature conversations about stuff. He's very insightful. And I hope he knows I never thought less of him for liking Wall-E so much. But a few memories of him that stand out were one time Kathy had called him while we were at John's house playing video games, and she told him to come home and have some corn dogs for dinner. And he immediately packed his stuff and left. Or one time Jonathan sideswiped his car, and we thought it was such a terrible thing, but he was literally on the ground laughing at it. Or we would go and swing at the playground late at night. One time I was driving him home and I passed his house, and he turned to me and just said, "Meow?" And and I immediately knew. I'm like, "Oh, dude, I missed your house, didn't I?" But the biggest thing that we had with our group of friends was that we stayed up late one time watching Home Improvement, and Tim came out and turned off the TV and told us to go to bed. So in the pitch black, Paul got up to go to the kitchen to grab something, and Tim, you could hear his footsteps coming up behind him. And I swear I heard a slap. But it turns out it was just the fridge door closing. But from there on, we joked about him getting abused at home, though that would never happen. One thing I'm really going to miss is seeing his stuff on the coffee table at John's house, his keys, his glasses, his wallet, his phone, and his Tums that he always brought with him. For Halloween one year, he dressed up as a Jedi, and it says a lot to him about him that he picked to be a Jedi rather than a Sith, though he often got mistaken as a lightsaber-wielding Jesus. Him and I agreed that the meaning of life was to leave a lasting impression on those around us, and Paul did just that. He was a genuine friend, and it impacted a lot of people. I never thought I'd be saying goodbye to him, but I'll eat some hot and spices in his memory, and we'll make fun of John. I'm going to miss him every day for the rest of my life. I love you, Paul. These pages could never convey what they meant to me, but they died doing what they loved, and I have a quote from Star Wars that I think Paul would have enjoyed. It's from episode 4. Nothing from 1, 2, or 3. The Force is what gives a Jedi his power. It's an energy field created by all living things. It surrounds us and penetrates us. It binds the galaxy together. So, to Carl, Tim, and Paul, may the Force be with you. Goodbye.